My name is Heather Edgerly, and I grew up in southern Maine and left for about 20 years and came back and am living here now. I had undergone an unrelated surgery in June of 2020, and they found cancer while doing a routine post-surgical biopsy. So it was a bit of a shock after the end, well, what I thought was the end of a long health journey, but I was really fortunate that they caught my cancer relatively early. So I underwent chemo and radiation, and I'm cancer-free today. And like many other cancer patients, I'm dealing with some of the long-term side effects of the cancer and the treatments. After I was diagnosed with cancer, my primary care physician recommended that I reach out to Dempsey Center to help manage some of the side effects of the treatments that I was about to undergo. At the time, the center was closed for in-person visits due to COVID, but I was able to participate in many of their programs virtually. I took workshops on fatigue and on nausea. I was able to participate with nutrition classes as well as some of the exercise classes at the center. My first consultation was with Judy, Dempsey's nutritionist. She's incredibly knowledgeable about nutrition as well as the side effects that people experience when they go through cancer treatment, including lack of appetite, losing your sense of taste and smell, and all those things come along with the treatments we go through. So she and I had met over Zoom and had a consult. And she gave me a lot of great tips and tricks of how to counteract some of the symptoms I was going through, as well as a lot of nutrition guidelines to help support my progress and my treatment. Once I was healed a little bit from my surgery and I could get back to getting my body in shape, I had my first consult with Tish, who is the movement and fitness coordinator at Dempsey, and she is amazing. I had been pretty immobile for about a year before I started my cancer treatments, so my body was a bit of a mess. And Tish recommended that I start doing oncology yoga classes as well as Tai Chi classes. So that's where I began. And the classes are quite extraordinary. They are focused on the side effects that come from having cancer and going through treatments. So they're really accessible to anybody who is going through this and dealing with this diagnosis. And they were a great first step in my fitness journey and being able to build a positive relationship with my own body after all that it had been through. In addition, there was a huge bonus to it at the time because all of the classes were virtual. I could take them from my living room. And so there was never any pressure to complete a class if I didn't feel up to it or feeling like I had to stay for the whole thing. I could just leave when I needed to, take what I needed and leave the rest aside without a huge commitment. Also, in meeting with Tish, I was at the end of my yoga teacher training, which had to be put on pause because of my health issues. And as I was talking to her, she recommended that I might look into becoming an oncology yoga teacher. And it was very serendipitous. It was absolutely perfect timing. I was able to go through the oncology yoga teacher training, and I was certified a month ago. And hopefully I'll be able to teach yoga at Dempsey Center if the opportunity arises in the future. Using the services at the Dempsey Center helped me gain a sense of control over my health. When you get diagnosed with cancer, there's a lot of things that you just have to endure. The surgeries, the chemo, the radiation, they're really hard on your body and they're really hard on your mind as well. So working with people at the Dempsey Center gave me an opportunity to do things for myself that helped in my healing process. The individual consults helped me manage my day-to-day symptoms, while joining in the classes can help me build a really positive relationship with my own body. In addition, having cancer is really isolating, even under the best circumstances, but going through it during COVID meant that I could barely leave the house for 5 or 6 months. And so being able to participate in classes, even though it was virtual, created a sense of community. And it was just something to look forward to every week. The advice I'd give for somebody who is recently diagnosed is first remember that your cancer diagnosis is just a diagnosis. It's not your full identity. And although at times it can feel really all consuming, it's important to find the joy in your life as you go through your day to day, because that is what will keep you going and keep you motivated. I also recommend finding people or a person who have gone through a similar journey. I know I didn't utilize this myself, but I know that Dempsey Center has a lot of great groups that you can join and be part of. The exercise classes were a great space for me to be part of a community. Cancer is a marathon and not a sprint. And so it's a really long journey that you have to go on. And it's incredibly helpful to be around people who have gone through similar things. I would also recommend utilizing the complementary therapies that are offered by Dempsey Center, no matter where you are on your journey. During treatment, there are some things that might help you, like nutrition or massage that might help you deal with the nausea. But also there are a lot of other therapies like the exercise programs that can help you get your body back into shape, and working with the acupuncturist and the massage therapist that will help you deal with your fatigue or your bone loss after your treatment ends. So I would recommend utilizing those services and doing those things that complement what you're already doing for your health.